On wing 2.
I was trying so hard not to cough.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? From Three Hive Studios, I'm Jeff Tomrell, and you're watching Hot Ones Berks County Edition. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. Today, we're going to kick off episode number 1 with yours truly and Three Hive director, videographer, and all-around funny guy, Tony Mancuso. Tony, before we kick off here, how are you with hot sauce?
I like spicy things. I'm a big fan of the Hot Ones show, so I am excited for this. I'm also a little nervous because I've seen many episodes and I know how dangerous these wings can be.
As this is episode 1 and we're going to be interviewing, we're actually not sure who's going to interview people moving forward. We might both do it, but today we're just going to interview each other, let you know a little bit about us, and we're going to get to learn about each other. So. Let's dive in. We're going to start with sauce number 1. It is the Hot Ones Buffalo Hot Sauce, sauce number 1. It's on your left, my right.
And hey, cheers.
Cheers. So you've performed in bands playing guitar, keys, bass, lead vocals as your profession for years. What is it about video creation that pushed you to leave your love of music and pursue a career as a director of photography?
That's a very good question, Jeff.
And also, let me know how the wings are.
That's good.
Oh, crisp.
Crisp, very good. Crispy wings.
I ate the wrong one. Just kidding.
My original career goals were not to be in a band. I've always wanted to be a music video director.
Music video director.
Yeah, I've always been inspired and had like thoughts and ideas about music. Like when I would hear a song, I would get like visuals in my head about things that I wanted to create, and I've always wanted to do that. And when my dad's a singer, I grew up singing. Music's always been a part of my life, you know, playing guitar since I was 14. And I decided, you know, okay, well, the whole film director, music video director seemed out of reach when I was 18 years old. So I decided to just move on to a music career that I knew. And then I did that for years and years and years. And I guess eventually I just decided to get back to my roots, you know what I mean? And I had the opportunity to, well, the opportunity, but more like I just decided I wanted to move to Los Angeles. And then I had some friends out there and I just went for it. And it was great until COVID. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time out there. I learned a lot of skills, and that I use, you know, with all the projects that we do. And yeah, that's basically it.
Are you gonna throw all of the wings on the ground when you're done with them?
Not all of them. I might put some in my pocket like Conan.
Look at that graphic on there. Does it make you want to eat it?
It looks like Macho Man Randy Savage.
It does look like the Macho Man Randy Savage. So this is wing number 2.
All right.
Kind of went diagonally to fit them all in here. What's your question for me?
Well, from like Go-Go Gadget to the Magical Mystery Doors to Go-Go Retro to Three Hive Entertainment and now Three Hive Studios, what's the impetus that keeps pushing you to create more brands in business?
I like this sauce.
Is it good?
That's the impetus.
It's
It's good. I found that I enjoy the Go-Go Gadget we started in 2005, and the idea for Magical Mystery Doors didn't come till years later. But I found through that process and on wing 2.
I was trying so hard not to cough. Yeah, good.
It's real, folks. We're doing it.
Yeah.
I found it's like when I have an idea and then moving that idea forward and bringing it to life is kind of addictive. And so once we had Go-Go Gadget and Magical Mystery Doors, and there was like a Go-Go Gadget 2 at the time, it made sense to create this management company as an umbrella that kind of housed everything underneath it. That way it gives legitimacy to the other brands. It's like we have this company that we're together with, and then I feel like I walk on this treadmill that never ends and there's no end to it, but it's fun. I'm enjoying the process. And so when a new idea comes into my head and it seems like it's possible, and we've got a team with or behind me that can, I should take a bite, work together, it's a fun process. So this sauce is 10 out of 10. Not spicy at all, but
No, not spicy at all. I'm full Ariana Grande on this one. No heat.
Tony, if you weren't pursuing a career in either music or now video, what do you think you would be spending your time doing?
Well, first of all, this is a great sauce. Oh yeah.
Ooh,
I
a
will say-
little more heat.
I was just about to say that's the first one I had a sense of heat. If I wasn't doing something with music or video, I'm a big foodie. I know that's kind of a cliche term, but I'm a big foodie. Like, I love to cook, and I'm also really into cars. So if I wasn't doing music or video, I'd probably be doing something in the food industry, like maybe a cooking YouTube channel or something car related. I mean, I'd probably filming cars, which is still
Really straying far from the
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Well, that's
But-
good though. I mean, so
Yeah.
instead of in the music world or kind of what we're developing here in the studio, you might find your way back to documenting that, but in a different industry.
Yeah, I mean, I love, definitely during COVID, especially, I thought about creating a YouTube channel where I would like do a cooking show. I did a little test pilot thing, and I made like a stir fry, and it was fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't really super happy with the way it turned out, but it was just fun to do.
Well, that's
Well, yeah.
usually what happens with a first attempt. We'll
Yeah,
see how
yeah,
this one
but-
turns out.
Yeah, I thought that was something fun to do, but yeah. Okay, with like, you have over 3,000 live performances logged
Yeah.
over the past 20 years. Is there a particular show or moment that stands out to you after all of those?
There's a few,
Okay.
and there's a few for good, and a few for bad. We'll start with the bad first. 2011-ish, performing at Atlantic City at the Showboat Casino. They had a little area called Backstage of the House of Blues, the party pit. Not a lot of people there on this particular night, and these two scantily clad and not great looking people approach the stage. And while we're performing, one of these ladies' breasts popped out. It was not small. And the band members and I are looking at each other like, hey, look at that. And she proceeded to use her hands in a way that I was shot with breast milk while performing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, how's that for an appetizer? It went way further than I would have expected, and yeah, that moment stands out.
Where did the breast milk land?
On my shoe.
On your shoe.
Threw
Okay.
that shoe away. I could have washed it. I just didn't want to. And on the flip side, after 3,000 performances, on the good side, again, there's a lot of good moments, but one particular one was after our first Magical Mystery Doors performance. It went so well that immediately after the performance, I just went to the basement of this venue and just sat by myself for like 5 minutes. The other guys went out to talk to family and friends that happened to be there. It was a home run. It was the crowd was loving it. The band was loving it. So that's a standout one for me. First night with Magical Mystery Doors and breast milk. So Tony, you used to release on Facebook this series with your grandmother called Wednesdays with Mom, right? And It was kind of this adorable series where I guess you spent your Wednesdays with your grandmother, with Mom, and you'd pick her up in the car, and then you'd make these videos of her saying these ridiculous, outlandish things, which was really heartwarming, and I think a lot of people look forward to each week. What was your grandmother's reaction, like, to you asking her to say some of these things that certainly she had no idea what they meant?
She was gung-ho about all of it. I think, you know, as it progressed, like when it first started out, like I think the first video that we did, the first Wednesdays with Mom was her saying, something like that, that's lit or whatever, or and that was it. That was the only thing. Like I would say something and she would say one line and that was it, and people loved it. But then as it progressed, you know, I felt the need to like do a little more, and near the end, I started like writing little scripts for her and stuff. And she would look down and I would edit it obviously, but she'd look down and she'd like, you know, say her lines. She had never flinched at anything. I don't think.
Did she get the joke? Did she understand it was funny?
No, no, most of the time, because it was all like hip terms, you know what I mean?
Sure. Mama, what are you going for Halloween as? Science.
Science, just science. Just science, yeah. But her delivery on everything was just so great, and I was really surprised, to be honest with you, because like I'd always, you know, been close with my grandmother, but I never had been in a situation where, you know, I asked her to do anything like that.
Sure.
And I didn't know how she would take it or if she would even be willing to do it. And then when she was and people loved it, and I was like, yeah, every Wednesday we'd go take her to get her hair done at my aunt's salon. She was just like,
I mean, and you never did anything that was like embarrassing.
No, of course not. Yeah, no, not at all, not at all. It just was just weird, funny things. Sure. And she was like, yeah, I'll say whatever you want me to say.
Well, I was a fan.
Yeah,
and it was nice
a lot of
to
people
see that.
were. A lot of people were.
It was a nice. Honestly, had that existed in the TikTok era, that probably would have gotten a lot more attention.
You know what's funny? That is probably, out of all of the things I've ever put out on the internet, I've gotten so many responses from people on Facebook, especially.
It was honest and real.
They're like,
well, I don't know if honest, but it was just adorable.
You know, people would tell me all the time, like, I had a really bad day today, and it was rough, and then I saw your new Wednesdays with Mom, and it just brightened my day.
Yeah.
And that was just nice. Okay, what's a lesson that you have learned from leading a crowd on stage that has translated to leading a team of people off stage?
I don't like the flavor of this wing.
No?
No. I mean, it's not awful, but I don't like it.
You got a little sweetness to it.
I don't taste that. When you're on stage, my job is to make sure the people in the audience have a good time. That's ultimately my job as an entertainer in the sector that I've performed in, right? And so that's kind of translated when we have the studio and we have clients come in. Like, I actually want to make sure they have a good time while they're here.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not in Go-Go Gadget, I'm making business decisions that aren't always financially driven, but making sure that the guys have a good time. Because if people are having a good time, they're gonna come back. Whether it be come back to see that band, whether it be come back to work, whether it be come back to our studio again. And a lot of the feedback and reviews that I've gotten are, oh my gosh, we had so much fun. And that's across the board. For Magical Mystery Tours, for Go-Go Gadget, for Go-Go Retro when that existed. And it's just like, it brings me such joy to know that I can create that opportunity for others. So that's something that I learned on stage, and now I implement in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
The Maple Reaper.
It's spicy for you?
Yeah, I'm feeling that one. Everything else was like, there's like a little bit of heat building.
My head got a little hot.
This one, yeah, I can feel the heat.
Ooh, the last swallow gave me a little spice.
Right away I can.
Oh, it's hotter.
I can taste the heat right away. Like, there's certain peppers, something habanero on that.
Yep. So as a guy who's known for doing impressions, what's an impression that you do that gets the biggest reaction out of, sorry, chicken wing in the way. What's an impression you do that gets the biggest reaction out of people?
In all, like, 14, 15 years of my music career, I'm always going to be known as the Shaggy guy.
You are the Shaggy guy.
I'm the Shaggy guy. There's still people like once a month. I'm not even joking. Like once a month, someone will send me like they're driving in the car and Shaggy comes on the radio and they take a screenshot of it. Ooh, that's hot. And they take a screenshot of it and they send it to me. And the Shaggy impression, hands down, is one of the ones that I'm always known for.
You're not going to give us a little of the Shaggy impression while you're trying to recover? No idea what you said, but it sounded right.
Yeah. But I used to be known for like my Christopher Walken impression, because everyone's done that. But my favorite one that I do is, it's not really, I mean, I can do the voice, but it's just my Robert De Niro, which is where I just go like this.
That's Bobby De Niro right there.
Yeah, make the face and people are like, oh my God, yeah.
Jinxie Cat.
Jinxie Cat, yeah. Let's just dive into it.
I feel like I'm going to start sweating after this next one. I feel like I'm glistening a little already.
Da bomb.
Are we going to eat and then question?
Yeah, let's eat this first and then we'll do the question. All right.
Cheers, friend.
Cheers to Da bomb. Oh.
Immediately hate the way it tastes. Not good.
No, immediately it's like,
It's hot on the roof of my mouth. I didn't know that could happen. Oh. It's hot on the roof of my mouth.
This is bad.
I think my chin is sweating.
This is way worse than I thought it was going to be. All right. Wow. Instant fire. Okay, as a person who has left one of your bands,
Facts.
I'm curious, what are the negatives and positives to musicians moving on to other projects?
I just wiped my nose with where hot sauce was.
You're glistening, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew this would happen.
That is no joke. That really is no joke.
My entire tongue is on fire.
I'm really trying to hold out and not do the milk.
My eyes are watering. I don't even think I have milk. I didn't want it. I don't want it. I want the burn.
That's fine.
The negatives and positives associated with someone leaving a band. So
yeah.
The negatives are kind of obvious. Like when you left, for example, and Mikey, like the band had a bond. And you guys were presented with a better opportunity financially for you guys, like significantly. So years later, I looked back on that and I totally support that. And that was the right move for you guys at the time. But we had this like bond, it was like us against the world, and you were leaving us. And so it messes up the chemistry of the band for a little while, especially, you got to give advance notice. You don't say bye and leave that day. So there's like that next van ride where you're like, you're like in front of me and I'm behind you staring at your back of your head.
Yeah. There's definitely some awkward moments.
And then, looking for new people and the hang up from we're not working on new material, we're trying to teach someone to go, well, so there's that stuff. But then on the flip side, especially a band that's been together like Go Go Gadget for 20 years, there's a new energy that comes in with a different person, right? There's a new personality. In this instance, we're looking for and have found a new vocalist for Go Go Gadget. So we're excited about the new material we can do, the new content we can create. Additionally, and not as like a negative, but this is something that like when in that instance, when you guys left for another band that was competition for us at the time, like that drove me because I wanted to bury you.
Yeah.
Like not but like so it made us work harder. Which I think is good for all businesses, any bands. Like there's a lot of, I think some of that's gotten lost in our like cover band circuit recently, where the competitive nature has disappeared a little bit, and people aren't maybe working as hard or bringing as good of a show. So I think that can be a positive to it. But there's both sides. And what I've learned after 20 years that, we've created a brand that's strong enough that each person has their own characteristic and piece of the band in that time. But luckily, the brand is strong enough to continue on, which is great, and it's something I didn't know previously. So, for example, we have Alex leaving to pursue flight school, and I gave him a hug and wished him luck, and we're going to miss that element, but we have another one coming in. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's a monkey with the top hat.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to ask you the question, we'll eat, and then you'll answer. So you grew up on 14th Street in Reading.
Yeah, that's where I grew up, yeah.
You've lived in some other areas of Berks County. You moved out to Los Angeles, as you said, lived there for a while. You've lived in Florida for a while, and you're back in Berks.
Back in
right?
Berks.
What is it about the greater Reading area in Berks County that made you want to come back or be here?
Actually, part of it's you.
Hey!
Yeah, because I left Los Angeles because of COVID. You know, everything shut down.
Right.
My studio shut down, Ridge Production that I worked for, and it was really hard as an independent filmmaker for any independent film company to do anything because you had to have like PPE for everyone. You had COVID compliance officers, all this stuff. It just added to your budget. It was impossible to like afford to do a shoot. So after moving to Florida, worked with my buddy Wayne Hoffman, and then you had told me that if I was going to be coming home anytime soon, that you had a bunch of bands that needed content. You know, a whole bunch of bands. Yeah, I planned to come home to do that, but then what kept me here is just like I mean, this is my hometown. You know what I mean? And I love it here, and it's nice to be around my sister and my mom. And it's Berks County. You know what's funny? It takes moving away from a place to really appreciate it.
Absence.
Yeah, like Los Angeles is it's flat. The weather's beautiful, but there's no like rivers and streams and forestry, and Reading has a lot of that stuff, especially over in Mount Penn where I'm at. You forget about that. And when I came back, I was like, man, I kind of just didn't. I took it for granted.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
But no, it's great to be back, and all my friends are here and stuff too. So yeah, that's what's kept me here, and obviously the studio that we put together here. This is great, and we're doing awesome stuff here, and I really enjoy it. And I hope that we just can continue to grow and kick some ass, sea bass.
What a great answer, thanks.
Yeah.
So here we are. We have reached the last wing,
Yes.
and it is tradition on Hot Ones to add a dab of the last dab. So
All right,
give it
I'll
a shake.
start.
Give it a shake.
I'll do a shake. Give it a start here.
You can ask your last question for me.
Yep. All right, so
Easy. Comes out quick.
it does.
Ooh.
Oh, that was. Well, it's the last wing. Whatever. F it. Here you go.
I have to match.
Yeah. You have to match. Yeah. That was definitely. It did.
You can see we're not on the Hot
You
Ones
said
budget
it.
here on the show. They've got like each has a lineup. They've got extra, but we're making it
Yeah.
work here at Three Hive Studios. There we go. Does that look about what you have?
That's fair enough. Yeah, yeah. Do you want us to eat this first, or do you want me to ask the question?
No, ask the question so I can
All right, yeah,
sweat
yeah,
while
yeah,
it's.
yeah. All right. All right. Speaking of Three Hive Studios and
Yeah.
everything, what do you hope people will get from this space of the ideas that you have created here?
This does not taste good.
Oh boy.
There was so much on my tongue.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So much on my tongue.
Kind of fruity.
It's sweet and fruity at first, but then the aftertaste I don't love.
No, I feel
It doesn't sit in till you swallow. I have no idea what you said. What, Three Hive Studios? I was eating this and all I could focus on was that it smothered my tongue.
It's fine. My question was, what do you hope? Oh man, that's hot. What do you hope people get from this space and the ideas that you have created here?
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right? That's it, man. I wanted to create a space where unencumbered ideas could come together. Where people, and that's why there's all these toys here, there's video games. I want people to come in and just feel welcome and feel free and maybe get some of that childhood wonder back. That, I mean, you saw my son earlier working on a Halloween design, how excited he was, and I want people to experience that. So that's like, if you can find a space, and then, like I tell people literally, like if you can dream it, like we can do it here. Like it might take a little while on a budget, but there's nothing we can't like make happen here. We've had all those sorts of things. We'd have the Harlem Globetrotters here. We had fashion design students here. We've had touring metalcore bands here. We've had my kids' lemonade stuff here. You know, it's like wedding bands here. That is really hot.
I put way too much on.
Yeah, well, I followed you. But I just like to have this space that when each new person or group comes in here and I can see how excited they are, makes me excited to keep growing and creating other things. And then just like I said with the bands earlier, like now instead of abandoning this idea we're creating for that day, it's this piece of content or this music video or this tour that they're crafting that goes out. And it's very fulfilling for me. And it's just fun. Like it's so fun. Certainly there's boring parts of the business to come, but like it is so fun. We're eating chicken wings right now. I mean, we like the show and we figure out a way to do it and make it look good. And hopefully other people want to do it. So what does he say? Roll out the red carpet. What do you got going on? This camera, this camera, this camera.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. This is Hot Ones Berks County Edition, right? We thought the format of the show was fun. We figured out how to implement it here. And if you want to come in and sweat and have a little heat in your mouth, come on in. We'd love to have you. We'd love to meet more of the people from Berks County. We'd love to hear your stories. We'd love to see you in the hot seat.
And just remember, the last dab comes out faster than you think.
Here it is. Well, hey, man. Thanks for sitting down and doing this with me.
Yep.
Good luck editing it.
Thanks. I'm going to go switch the milk.
No milk. Not doing it. I'm just going to enjoy the heat.
That's much better. That's much better.